Joshua Mugarasi Mixed Farm, Chigozi Stanley, Antonio Random Things. Bwembwa yesigamye nyama naye muli mutya? How is your Saturday today? Mine is, I'm not complaining. I can't say that I'm not good. I'm okay. A little tired, but very okay. It has been a marathon the past 2 weeks, but Paul, hi, how are you? Hi, guys. How is your Saturday? Kisaba Shadrach Nalunji Harriet. Sekitoleko Brian. Hi. Muli mutya banange. Yeah, how is your Saturday taking you? Me, I cannot complain. I think I'm very okay. Kawesa Victor, how are you? Hi, Morad K. Momo, Kaiwa Benjamin. Mutia. So, I've gotten quite a number of calls of people that want to buy chigeges for taxi. Yeah, quite a number of you guys want to buy chigeges, and it's not bad. It's a profitable business. So far, I've not gotten any complaints from the chigeges we have on the road already. No complaints whatsoever. The money keeps coming in. Of course chigege zirwalange mumotoka endala and chigege zirwala okusinga ku motoka endala, but of course a car that brings in 90 to 80 to 90,000 a day, you can definitely you can fix it. Yeah, so but I've gotten quite a number of people that want to invest in that business, ya chigege. And that made me come to a question of whereas we all get tempted to want to enter a certain business, because when people come out and say that a certain business is very profitable, then the next course of action for most people would be, let me invest in that business, nange neerireko ku sente ezo. Yeah, and then the question would be, why do you actually just, is it just about making money? Because yes, money is very important, but are you going to simply do stuff simply because of money? Yeah. Are you just going to be starting money? I wanted to learn something. It's also something for me to learn. especially from you guys that are abroad. What inspires you guys? What what um what what keeps you going? What keeps you going? Because I realized that there is something keeps me going. I watched a clip where someone was talking about why celebrities in Uganda go abroad, watch about Uganda when they are making good money, and then they decide to simply, okay, let me go to Canada, let me go to the UK, let me go to the US, and then they say that these guys, okay, they were doing well. Like for example, you guys, we talked about Patrick Omujuka some time ago, I think a number of months ago, and we were asking, okay, Patrick Omujuka checha mutwali bwiru. And then recently, I think Stacy Amayanja abadde trending nnyo yasalawo n'agenda ebweru. And then the question would be for their kids, that if someone that is already having enough money or that is doing well for themselves to go abroad, then they're not doing it for themselves, they're doing it for their kids. They just want their kids to have a good life in the future. And then the question is, then there are people that take their kids abroad and then they come back and do university from here. No sango mwana mu university Makerere ngagamba I did high school in Canada, I did high school in the UK, and then that question still came up, and someone was like, okay, some people take their kids abroad because they just want them to get a good education up there and then come back in Uganda and compete better than the other people. And I was actually thinking about the people on For the Love of Cars abali what, apart from money, what is, because money is very important, what inspired you to go abroad? And what inspires you to stay there? Nze mbadde ngendako ebweru genda nomalayo weeks esatu n'okomawo, sometimes nga ngenda nemalayo one night and I come back. And it's not an easy decision for someone to just decide one day, let me say, kangende ebweru, kangende nkolere emyaka ena, kangende nkolere emyaka 10. So recently I was talking to someone who has been there for like, I think 9 years. Was it 9 years? And this person shared that when he had just gone there, things were moving on okay. Then he had an accident, and then his salary was cut way below even the Ugandan standards. And then he by chance applied again, and they gave him a supervisory role, which went from, like, you see how you go from 800,000 up to 9 million shillings per month. And then his money was like, it was okay, we are using for. Sorry guys, network keeps potting off, but we're using the Airtel thing. So far it's not so bad. It watches YouTube without actually buffering it. I'm in the village. So guys, what inspires you apart from money? What keeps you going every day? Nozuka kumachanogama, let me do this. Because there are so many, I watch a lot of motivational stuff. Sometimes people that are self-employed, especially in Uganda, you need to watch a lot of motivational stuff for you to keep being motivated. And some of the motivational stuff doesn't actually end up motivating you. It ends up demotivating you. And then the question would be, is it all worth it? Some time ago, I think like a year or 2 years ago, Jake was sharing, and he was saying, enyumba zonna zonna zetumalirako obudde 100 years from now abaana baffe bajja kuba bazimenye, which is totally true. Of course, 100 years from now, some houses will still be there, but most of those houses will be away, because you can imagine one of Murubiji people have been there for like 50 years, and they're saying they have been there for eternity, and now their houses have been dropped. There are buildings that were dropped, which take a Kalina, like storage buildings were dropped in the Rubiji saga, the Nema saga. And now the question is going to be, is it all worth it? Like, should we have inspiration that is simply money? I want to make money, become a billionaire, because in Uganda a millionaire is you make 2 million, become a millionaire. Yet 2 million is actually very little money. You can eat that money in a week if you're not careful, even 2 days if you're not careful. So then the question would be, what inspires you? I've switched off this Wi-Fi. I've switched it off because it seems it's the one. So let's try the phone data now to see how the data is functioning. So guys, if you don't mind, what would you want to share? What inspires you? What keeps you going every morning? What makes you wake up every morning and you start working and you say, can't you call it, can't you call it, can't you call it? At least other than money, because if you keep working for money, you'll work for money until, well, the money can no longer help you. So what inspires you for the rest of so that other people also get inspired? Okay, sema ko 16 million mfuna wish on which number plate? UBA, USZ, UAY. Bobo yagala ennungi n'ebyenamba biveeko n'onyamuruka nnungi kaweesa. Chris Da Vinci, hi. Me for the love of exposure, but it wasn't in my plans to stay here this too long. So you're getting exposed. It's exposure that keeps you going every morning, doing whatever you do. It's the things you get exposed to, right? So the rest of you guys, Anthony Abagambi, it's exposure. Exposure ye musigaza gyali. N'agaana okudda ekampa n'aga kanjira mbeera eno njige kino njige kiri njige kino njige kiri. So what keeps you going? Namwe abali e Uganda, what keeps you going? What makes you wake up in the morning other than money? And I'm here saying this because I know once you think you have covered your want this Harriet bileke. Once you think you have covered once you think you are, I know like 25 million is really a lot of money, but no Harriet, no. Everyone, you can read what Harriet is saying, but no. So guys, once you have covered your basic needs and you know, okay, I can comfortably cover my basic needs if I continue doing this over and over and over again, what makes you wake up every morning? Hi Eddie, how are you? What keeps you going? Anthony Abagambye, yeah, the thing that keeps him going is the thing that keeps him going is Lubega Francis, ugamba kimuganda wange. Anthony Abagambye, it's exposure, kyekimusigaza gyali ayongere abeeko byayiga. It's hope. Francis, what is hope? I find that hope is not unlimited. Is not unlimited. I find that today at night when you go back, you hope you wake up, right? And then you wake up in the morning and then that's done. And then that day as you go to work, you hope you make some money or you hope you make your bosses happy, and then you go and achieve that. And that day, that kind of hope is done. So how do you have an unlimited hope? I've failed to get the kind of unlimited hope that maybe you are talking about. How do you get the unlimited hope that makes you think that, okay, I think now the thing that I want is actually a hope? How do you get that unlimited hope, Francis? Hope can't be the inspiration, I think. I think it has to be bigger than hope, because hope keeps your inspiration going. Well, for you to to keep moving every day, you need hope. But how do you get that unlimited hope? I find that hope is periodical. For everything you do, you have hope. I find that you can't have hope to live 90 years. I don't think I want to live up to 90 years. I don't think. I've seen 90-year-old people that are suffering. For that person to keep living, they're actually struggling. Umar Seboa, I'm fine. How are you? I've seen 90-year-old people that are really just struggling. They don't want to live anymore, but somehow they are still alive. I don't think I want to live that old. I think I just want to see my kids through school, live their lives, and then God can do whatever he wants. Richard III, a role that I played from the play Richard III, the character says that Edward better die now, but he had not better die until Clarence is set packing to heaven. Yeah, because Edward is king and he has to to live when Clarence has already died, so that he dies and then Richard can take over. And he says when Clarence has died, then God is free to take Edward too, so that they leave me the world to play in. I'll marry the Earl of Warwick's youngest daughter from achievements of others and their stories sometimes. Oh, yes, 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 Francis. You look at what other people have done and you say, okay, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Keep inspiring. I have learned a lot from you. Amin. Arthur, what inspires me is the small goals I achieve. Oh, Saddam, every time you achieve something, you say, I think I can achieve more. Every time you achieve something, you say, do you guys have like a bigger thing that you say, okay, I think if I do this, my kids will have something to remember? Because I find that other than the world remembering you, what are you working for? Awanywedde mu kawaragi ketasinga n'onywa akawaragiko n'oguvuga emmotoka ez'ebbeeyi n'ogula amayumba ag'ebbeeyi n'ogasitulamu nga bw'ogatunda. If the goal is to not be, you see, you guys remember Mike Ezra ne kakati tukyamujjukira, tetumanyi na gyali, tetumanyi oba yafa oba akyali mulamu oba akyali mugagga oba yayavuwala, but we still remember that dude. He made history. He will always be remembered. Tuliba tuli awo nga abaana baffe bagoba ku baana bazzukulu ba Mike Ezra. Dad, do you remember ever hearing about a guy called Mike Ezra? And then we say, yeah, I remember him. I think I was in primary school. I was in primary school and there was this dude who was rich and all that. And then he flaunted money and then he came in a helicopter. He had bodyguards and all that. Which together. And then the kids will say, I'm in school with his grandkids. And they say that dad was one of the richest guys in Uganda at a time. Which together. So do you guys ever want like to achieve something that is as big as that? Hi Walakira, how are you? For the love of cars. Fear of shame. Okuswala. Oh. Guys, who wants to be ashamed? Okuswala, fear of shame. Mama nyabu. Everyone will say, yo. You know, that's how they say. Man, the fear of shame. You guys, you have heard of the thing called the walk of shame. The walk of shame that you take when you slept in the wrong place at night, and then you wake up in the morning and you have to walk through the streets, people seeing they slept there. This disappointing my wife. Every time I walk, I feel like people talking about me. Mbu, you have nothing. Think about how life is short and we grow old, mango. Disappointing your wife. True. Fear of shame still, Daniel K. Daniel Wine. Nature the fear of shame. If you have watches, if you watched others achieving certain things in life that may seem impossible, you gain the motive to keep moving. Hope it's possible too. True. The little boy, Sekaja VIP. The little boy, your son keeps you going. I told you one time, my son said, we're in the kitchen. The mom was cooking, I was standing there. And then my son, Aban, looked at me and said, Daddy, I don't want you to ever be poor. Because when you're poor, you don't have money. My son told me that, and he has just made 6. I think, not for but because we did not have free speech. When would you talk to an old person? But my son said that. And then periodically my son asks me, Daddy, do you have a lot of money? And then I tell him no, but I'm looking for it. Daddy, are you rich? I say, no, I'm going to be rich very soon. I'm working hard. And then, of course, we changed a bit of cars around there, but there's a time when my son said, Daddy, I want you to buy a big car. You get, now he doesn't ask for the big car anymore. Well, this is a little bigger than the Vitz we used to buy, which take it, right? But I cannot forget my son telling me, Daddy, I never want you to be poor. Desire to have a good life. Well, I find that the desire to have a good life, you guys should have a good life now. Especially if you're surviving in Uganda, try as much as possible to have a good life now. I've realized that in Uganda, people die of things they should not have died of. People die when they should be alive. and that's not a good thing. In Uganda, you guys remember, I think I talked about it here. People dying on their way to the hospital is totally normal. It should not be. But it's normal. I don't know what we have to do as a country to fix it, but it's not normal for someone to die on their way to hospital. Because the fact that people have seen, let's take him to a hospital, he's a savable person. And people dying at the hospital waiting for medical treatment is also not normal. So because in Uganda, if you're going to stay in Uganda, you have to understand that you need to live in the now. Most Ugandans die of things that are avoidable. Yeah? Things that we are not supposed to die of. Border accidents, I think there's single kutaba. Of course, malaria tabantu, typhoid tabantu. Embwa, me, I don't want animals in my home. I one time had a dog, you guys remember, Nabanyumizako, I gave it away. I don't want dogs in my home. I don't want cats in my home. All those animals bring rabies, and rabies is deadly. For the things I have learned ever since I came to Dubai 5 years back, are really worth the trip. However, the best life experiences, I've learned them the hard way, but still I thank God. Antonio, getting generational wealth for my children and leaving a legacy for my children, a business my great grandkids shall work in. That's a big goal, Frank. That's a big goal. May God make it possible for you. I think deep down everyone wants that. Everyone wants to one time sit in their like chair and they have built something that they're no longer managing and probably their kids have taken over. You see how Sudhir is? He's alive, but he's not in charge. Mutabani are taking even the daughter, because there's a time I had a stint, a gig at Kisu, and it's the daughter that is in charge of Kisu, and Kisu is a big school, you get. And then I think the son is in charge of the real estate, which together. So Frank, I think whatever is going on in Sudhir, because people are saying is not fine. People are saying, not me. I just read stuff. But whatever is going on in his life, I think he sits back and says, man, I built something here. Because the kid is in charge. Now the kid can pass on the same thing to Sudhir's grandkids, and things will keep going. Hi, Deep in Coffee, how are you? Which take But what keeps the rest of you guys going? Let's share. Someone has said, Tayagara kuswala. The fear of getting ashamed, of being ashamed, or being shamed. Zesikyatya kuswala. Nti okuswala nti nkoze ekintu ekibi, but I don't think I'm scared of failing. Nti naswala when I've failed, but I think nimwe ensonyi ezokukola ebyambyone, jjajja wange yabiyitanga byambyone. You see how Matthias Mpuga has been treated. I'm sure that the 500 million he took is very little of all the money he has been taking in the past. But this 500 million was taken at the wrong time and has exposed him. Then I remember there is a 1 point something billion that he took, 14 billion. You get? So because he took the 500 million at the wrong time, that shame, that is bad. Katulaba million bitano ziyatwala. Yazukozemo pate zaweddewo. Okitegeera? So he took 500 million. Instead of apologizing and probably returning the 500 million and saying, inalisi chimanyi nti sente ezo zakibi, he actually had to do a party to prove the country that, you know what, he has used more than 500 on the party. Kati sente bitano ziyatwala zaweddewo. Okitegeera? So I don't want to go through that kind of shame. I think that's the one thing that guides the majority of the decisions I make. Even when we are, for example, going for an inspection, I say, okay, how will the world think about me if something were to be done wrong? Okitegeera, omuntu alina ensonyi atya okuswala. Okitegeera, atera okukola decisions ennungi. The people who undermine me make me work hard. Oh, that's nice. Richard III was undermined and he took over the country. He was king for a couple of times. The only problem with Richard III is yayagala okulwana na buli muntu. Senga yasigala ewe n'atalumbagana batamulumbaganye, n'asigala ewuwe, n'akola ebibye, n'atatta batalina kutta. he would have taken over. People would have lived in fear, but they would have stayed. I think I shared with you guys that I one time gave an old man a lift. Nagambe chintu ekyaggisaka Amin kulumbagana Tanzania. Senga Amin teyalumba Tanzania n'ababiri tolinga. Okitegera bagamba asobola okuba Tanzania mu nnaku 3. Which that's the reason why Amin was overthrown. Amin wasn't overthrown because he was a bad president or anything. He was overthrown because yalumbagana Tanzania. Yali alumbaganya abazungu bani bonna. Africans would definitely be proud of saying an African has finally talked to the white people and said this and that. But then atomara okulumbagana abazungu ne neighbor ono omulumba. Neighbor ndoza naga katika college. Kamulageko. I look at my properties at 28 years. It's inspiring me to achieve another goal. Congrats, Joshua. So you want to achieve more and more and more and more. Which together, you guys realize the things that inspire us. The things that inspire us. The vehicle he moved in alone was worth 500 million. Matthias Simpuga. The vehicle is a government vehicle. That vehicle is a government vehicle. But I mean the money that is spent on publicizing the event. The billboards alone could have taken like 10 to 20 million. Then the ads on radio. Then the drives. Then the fuel he gave these other people that came. Because of our border. Then the food. The sound system. The tents. The press conferences. None of those guys was there for free. So million bitanos are with you. Hi King Daniels, how are you? What inspires you, Daniels? What church inspiring? What inspires you to move? Me, I think I love having a good name. Having a good name is very important to me because Naliku campus, there is the guy Michael Chisenyi, akoda ku Kabozi FM. And I was at campus in Ansumanga. Every time I say my name, people ask me, okay, are you related to Michael Chisenyi? And I think, I don't want to ever be mistaken. I don't want my kids to be mistaken to be kids of that dude or any other Chisenyi that was powerful. Of course, but the powerful Chisenyis are few. So, and I want to be the Chisenyi that people mistake other people for being my kids. Like they look at the kid, like, are you related to Arthur? Which are you related to Arthur? Arthur Umumanyi. I want people to say that. Which I want people to want to be associated with me. When I do stuff, I want people to want to be associated. I want people to want to work with me. I want people to want to work for one of my businesses. I think it inspires how I pay my employees. It inspires my tax paying. I don't want URA to ever come out and say, oh, you tumukute yabo musoro. Which the way I talk to the police when they stop me. I think for me a good name is very important. Money is important as well, but I realize that there's a point you reach and money is no longer important. And that point everyone will reach it if they work hard enough. There's a point where you reach and the property you have is there, but so which you can have hectares of land, you can have buildings, and then you reach a point where the buildings, so you get it, and then after that, and then the way you've seen how Mujukira BMK, you guys remember watching BMK ka video ke waya London. You guys have seen Amama Babazi, the video of Amama and Babazi. You guys have seen those things. Someone has a lot of money, but somehow still something is missing. Then you get a lot of money and then you start donating the money. Like BMK started donating. Weba Muzika in the cemetery where they buried him, he donated that land for the cemetery. And so you make a lot of money and then you start giving it away. And it's all important. But I find that money and property will get to a point when they no longer inspire you. Where you actually think, the more you get, the more you want, definitely. I want more money, definitely. I want more property, definitely. But I think I'm one of those people that believe that today I was watching, you remember this guy, Yeringa Vumabujingo, Nesuzane Makura. He went to Canada, I think. So he was starting his video. He wanted to talk about the Kawaka issue. And he started this video with, gwe bwoba oyagala okugulayo ka protocol ka 5 ku 10 otekemu ennyumba ya bisenge bisatu otekeko kamera eno video giyiteko. I think he meant to belittle the people that have that as a goal. And I found it really wrong, because whereas we have different aspirations, there are people that just don't aspire to have so much. There are people that will be happy having a 1-bedroom house. As long as he has a 1-bedroom house, as long as she has a 1-bedroom house, and she has food is there, she has good medical care, she has a good car to move them around, and they have security, there are people that will definitely be happy. I never knew that I was one of those people. I don't want to have property that doesn't help the world. I think everything is chenwanako esawe, no. I think echimu kubinsigaza ne Uganda nenga kasijja, because the moment I leave Uganda sidda yenze sidda oba home is home kebereyo sidda. But one of the reasons that I'm home is where you can have the best impact. Home, there is no other place where you're going to have impact like your home. There is no other place where you're going to have impact like your home. So anybody that wants to have impact, you have to invest home, because in a one where people understand your language, people recognize your color, and they don't say he's black or he's blue, or you get it. And I find that this is where you're going to do impact. Me, I will personally do impact in the performing arts, a lot of impact. And that keeps me going, the impact that we can actually do in our respective industries. By mostly, if you want to do impact in Uganda, is by creating opportunities for other people to actually do impact in their own families. You create projects that will give them jobs, you create projects that will inspire them to work harder. And I know Urumuchi discouraging, people are going to underlook you. I had the situation I grew in, so I wouldn't wish my kids to share the same. Thank you very much, Tony. That's one reason I have only 2 kids. Si bongera ko kujanga buli mwana gwenziza kompa milioni 3. Era government neyitangaga kati abagala okwongera ka abaana buli mwana tukuga milioni 3 nzaala. Naye babate bampa milioni 3 sizala. Joan Jojo, what's up? Tony Calvin, what's up? Pasco Joseph. They know when Arthur, if you're earning 20 million from your investments per month, is to build your home and make the official marriage, or I first finish my other investments, advise me. Well, if you already have an income of 20 million, I find that as a young person, well, I don't know your age, but I'm imagining majority of my audience here is 35 million and 35 years and below. So 20 million is you have a home, you have investments, yeah. Oh, is to build your home, make first marriage, finish another investment. I mean, I think the choice that you have to know is mostly basic. It depends on what you want. Do you really want to make the marriage official now? Because do you want to make the marriage official now? Do you think making more money will make your life a little bit better? Would you be happier making more money? Would you be happier having a marriage that is official? Will you be happier sleeping in your own house? I find that it depends on you. At the end of the day, we all want to just be happy, right? So you do whatever makes you happy. If you don't do what makes you happy, kati right now, people will have to do for you things that they think make you happy when you're old. And when you're still in this age, 20 to 40, I think that's the time that 20 to 50 maybe. I find that, but mostly 20 to 40. This is the time when you're doing. And if you're lucky enough to be making a lot of money, I find that the only thing you should do right now is making yourself happy. If building a house makes you happy, if buying another car makes you happy, buy it. Uganda, the way I see people, accumulation is good, But enjoying what you have accumulated is also good. If marriage will make you happy, go ahead and marry your woman. If you haven't built a house, I normally think that if you're going to marry someone's daughter, you need to sit down and find out what your priorities are, the both of you, when you join. Because if you marry someone's daughter, it's going to be you and them. Paka, paka, paka. And when you marry someone's daughter, yes, you're giving up stuff for them, but they're also giving up their life for you. So you don't, I find that for abasajja tulirake osanga omuwala ng'ali awo ng'ali bibye oba talina ssente naye ng'ali bibye nga they are living their life, they are happy how they are. N'oyingira mu bulamu bwe n'omuconvincinga nti jangu tweyagale, you change their life and then you want them to, and then you start disorganizing their life. That's how we are. And sometimes after bringing them from their life where they were happy alone, omutadde mu bulamu bwo, then n'otandika ate okwagala obuvaamu. Which I think that's where the men are happy. The men are lucky that gw'osanga omukazi w'abandi nga talina kimutawanya, talina wamuluma, bw'olaba nga talina wamuluma n'omulumba n'omugamba nkwagala njagala n'akukkiriza, you bring them into your life, then ate n'omuzanyirako n'omulekawo. Okitegeera, eh? So they know, you need to understand that when you marry someone's daughter, it's going to be you and them. Ate kimanye nti majority of the time when lwakuba nti kati abawala b'ennaku, of course they are different, but kimanye nti omukazi ebiseera ebisinga when they decide to marry you, they have decided, they have come, bazze tebalina gye balaga. Okitegeera, kati kimanye nti you cannot be then making decisions alone. Oyinza okuwasa omukazi nga ye tayagala kubeera Uganda, nomala omuwasa n'agamba tugende Canada, and you go be there. Okitegeera, n'osalawo obeere eyo. Oyinza okuwasa omukazi n'agamba me I want to go back to school, nga gwe tewakirowooza nako nti omukazi ayinza okubeerawo n'ayagala okuddayo ku ssomero, but she wants to go back to school. So I think those are conversations that we never have. People never have them. Me, I had all those conversations. Me, I like having uncomfortable conversations. I was having a conversation with one of my cousins the other day, and it was frank. Like, okay, you know what? This is what you're going to do with your man. Do this. And at that moment when we are saying those things, it seems like we are harsh. When I say, gwe bofumbirwa ne muzaala abaana bamwe manya ba uncle tebaliyo, oyina okuzaala abaana be munasobola okulabirira. It seems like it's harsh. People will be saying, muganda mwe mumino mubeererawo, but that's the truth. Abantu baagala bantu babalimba. Okitegeera. So they know if you have a woman already, I find that most of the decisions should be made with them. Okitegeera. But it's also what inspires you. I think after like money is important, by the way. I think when I think about it, money is really, really, really important. Naye bw'okulembeza sente, you hurt a lot of people along the way. I'm really trying to get money as an inspiration for everything I do, and it's not. I find that impact is very important. A good name is very important. There are people that are still surviving on their grandparents' names. But you look, ekumanya a good name is important. Look at the Amin family. Look at the Obote family. There are people that are still getting employment in the East African community, in the Uganda government, simply because they come from the Obote family, they come from the Amin family, they come from the Wina Isa family, they come from the Tito Okelorotwa family. They still get employment in important places because of the name. And then still from the very same families, there are people that are being denied opportunities because they come from those families. So a good name is very important. Because at the end of the day, guys, money will go. Oba zijja kuba nga zirina we zitakuyisa. Nabagamba nabanyumizaako when the traffic officer tried to make me sleep in there. It wasn't money that got me out of there. It was a good name. It was a connection. So guys, what inspires you? I'm still trying. This is a conversation that is important. Someone has said the fear of being ashamed. The son inspires them. Then another person said the people that underlook them inspire him to work harder. Then Joshua said the properties he has at his age inspire him to work hard and get more properties. Then Jojo, what inspires you though? Jojo, Bridget Kakai, what inspires you to wake up in the morning and go to work every day? Why do you wake up every morning and go to work? And why do you immediately after work decide that either let me go for an evening class or let me go home? What keeps you going? Awakening High, Chris Fitness, what inspires you to keep you going every day? Of course, Antonio said that the thing that inspires him to stay in Dubai is the exposure he gets. After exposure, yeah, man. Of course, when you move, and then Frank said generational wealth. Yeah, he wants to create generational wealth. Every time you move out of your country and go to another country, you see other things. And for the people that cannot move out of your country to go to other countries, I think education would help you. Doing a course that covers aspects that inspire, interest you, probably will get you a little more exposure. Means and every time I go back to school for a paper or something or for a course, I'm bewildered. I'm surprised at how much knowledge I didn't have. So and majority of the time when I go back to school, I want to get skills to make my work better. Sidangayo kusoma kufuna chipapula. Of course ipapula yo nja bifuna because mwino kumpita ko doctor. Na ye ntera kuddayo to kat of course PhD eba yakufuna chipapula kibere obantegere nali doctor. But bino ebirala byonna starting with the postgraduate diploma and below, ebyo ebintu byonna biba yakufuna skill, ne professional papers, skill. But for the people that are employed, skill and paper. I went to for postgraduate diploma with someone to school, and for them they went back to school because kumulimo gwabwe kapapula kofuna bakuongeza. We went to school for 9 months for a postgraduate diploma, and after that we atwala yo her diploma ne bamwongerako million emu n'ekitundu ku musala just by having that diploma. Okitegera ate nga yali bank teller. You can imagine a bank teller ne bamwongera million emu n'ekitundu okuba ayongeddeko ekipapula. So some people get inspired by of course that's advancement, okusigala nga yeeyongere, but of course kati bwe babaddamu okupromotinga nga banoonya opening like in marketing, because try to call marketing, then that person will be an option next time because olwo olupapula alulina irujja mulaba nga avudde ku bank teller nga ayingidde marketing, ate mu marketing era sente zeeyongera, opportunities zibikuka, ogenda mulaba nga avudde mu Barclays ate agenze ewalala okitegeera. What inspires you? Bridget Kakai, financial independence and creating generational wealth. Nice, Bridget. Financial independence, that's important. Financial independence. Wait, I think we as human beings is you being there and you have to call someone bambi nyambako umwana andwadde ekirompa yebiri. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. King Daniels, whenever I watch your videos, I get inspired to change my plans. Don't change, just Daniels. Hi, Charles. Living a comfortable life with my family inspires me to wake up and go hustle. True. Comfortable life is good. Like now, here where I'm seated, I'm comfortable. So I know I'm telling you, a comfortable life is good. Me, I want to be remembered. I want my kids should go places and say, even now, if my kids went to certain places, they would say my name and yes, are you sure? But I want it to be bigger. And my kids walk to a place and they say, are you sure? Go mtawani watch senyi. Bambi. Oine namba ye mukubireko. Boda yo bami mugambe mutumide. Mugambe gundi ya mutumide. When I see those that I thought are way better than me in corruption and theft scandals, I get inspired to stay in my lane and work harder. Oh, Ray, that's very important, by the way. They just steal. Some people kill other people. Some people just rob. Like the story where I told you about a guy going in a WhatsApp group with a backup plot. Oyo msajja wa amaje yamusibira uzira na mbeza ye nako just to take a plot of land. Why not? Resources zotekamu okusiba omuntu lwaki tomuyita ne muteesa n'omugamba nguzaawo ngenda kuwa sente bweziti mu mpola mpola. Chris Fitness agamba the fear of being average. Yeah, but you know average is the fear of being average. Chris Fitness, throw more light. What is average? How do you define average? What are the variables? What are the variables of average? Achieving my 2 goals and making mom proud really inspires me. Dubai yanzibula amaso on lots of life hacks. Iranji furuma next month sikoma. Antonio ngojo ngate ngoji gobye mangu. Emyaka 5 jo kasigala yokko. Naye of course olina okuwasa ozaala abaana abalala kuba kati Antonio olabika oli musajja w'abaana nga 12 tolinga Arthur. Nze 10 kati mbakulekedde gwe bazaali twongere kubanga ababiri tubenga tulina abaana 14. Chris Fitness, average. What is average though? What inspires you guys? Share. When olaba kati ebintu byo sharing nga wono olaba nga biwandiko obuwandiisi nti but someone is reading and saying okay, someone is reading those comments and then they are also getting to say, okay, Nanga, I think I should do this because of this. So people are getting inspired here. What inspires you? What makes you wake up every day in the morning? Let me share something. Nze, performing arts. Nze nagende makerere nsome myaka 3 eja drama. And before I went to MOOC, I was always traveling abroad. Kuzanya, nganzanya ku stage. And I've been on some of the biggest stages. I think California just again. I went to Chicago. I even visited the Bean. And then I've performed at like 5 national theaters. I think I've been to London. I've been to the Belgian Brussels National Theatre, Porto National Theatre. Which other national theatre? I've performed at some of the biggest stages for artists like me. I have a stage. Apart from of course Broadway, but when again you ntambula nga nkyali muto bwe nakoma wano ningamba I want to go and some into drama officially. I want to go and learn the right way to do stuff, and I went to MOOC. Of course, by the time I went to MOOC, because and I did that degree nenjimala. And then after I did that degree, I realized we had a weakness in marketing. I was always inclined in doing business. And at that time, it was just me being ambitious of like, okay, I need to do this and keep pushing because Nabisoma, and I saw how things were done in all those places that I've been. It should be done like this. And then I realized that it can't be done like that unless you have good management and marketing. And I tried to read marketing books here and there, and marketing. And then as I worked with young people, because I work with a lot of young people, our performing actors, and I got inspired because I realized abana bano tukola nabo, but along the way ngokendo kulabanga abana abasinga fe abantu betwali nabo mbakayimbira abasinga because I was in bakayimbira at 16 babiva mudda because nga mbakayimbira teri kusasula. So one of the things that I made sure to do is to pay people, to pay my actors properly. My actors will get money. The only project project for a young or internal project, the only project they can gauge me on would be a funded project. And of course, I had challenges there. And then I later discovered that the best way to pay someone is hourly. And then we realized that all artists have other jobs. Then abakolanga rehearsals eza kuva kumacha paka lugulu tusiva kontukola evening rehearsals, and then we pay per hour. And what per hour enabled me, nze abantu benkola nabo temuli mu bya stand atenze mmanyikiddwa simanyikiddwa, we pay you per hour oba gwani. If you're efficient in a certain area, you should specialize to manyenti kati ono mu sound mulungi ono, but you get your money per hour. So if you work 10 hours, bwe mankuwadde 10 per hour, ejo gibeera emitwalo 4. But if you do work in 10 hours that could have been done in 20 hours, you get paid 20 hours. Then I realized that bw'okola bw'otyo, people get fair money. Teziriko na kweka, buli omu agenda okujja okukola ne Arthur nga akimanyi nti ngenda n'okukola ne Arthur essaawa 10. Buli ssaawa agenda kugimpa 4,000. buli ssaawa baagimpa 4,000 essaawa 100 ze sente mmeka z'emitwalo 4 okitegeera. So essaawa 100 oba azikoze mu wiiki emu okitegeera oba azikoze mu nnaku 3. Is that even possible? It's not. It doesn't matter. Yes, because it's possible. There is a day we had a show. Twakola emizannyo. Twali tukola 4 plays a day. But emizannyo esatu kwejeena ne tugiddamu emirundi 2. Emizannyo ejeena gyali girina kukolwa in 10 hours. Yeah? But we did 3 plays 2 times. That means 10 hours nezifuuka 20 hours. Then neguli omulala gwa 1 hour nezibeera 21 hours. So in a space of 11 hours, they got paid money worth 21 hours. Okitegeera. And akasente akakaamu ogenda n'okalaba ng'okawa omuntu, and it makes you happy. I think that's the one thing that keeps me going, staying here, because I know an impact when yeetagibwawo in the performing arts. Singa naleka ba director abalabe baba bakola ebintu bino, no ba director tebagala kusasula, ayagala bwakola akasente agenda agula ettaka somewhere. And for me, I know that property is very important. Property is nice, but I'm one person that never wants to have to be pointed at oyo guy yatukozesa n'ata tusasula. Okitegeera yatukozesa n'ata tusasula, yakolanga sente nga bwazirya. Even that is another kind of shame. So I think for me, it's the young people that I work with, because the world was good to me, and since the world has been good to me. So I want to be good to the world. Nze Katemba tamberedde mubi. I want to be good to Katemba. Everyone that is good to me, everything that is good to me, I am good to them. Okitegeera, I'm good to eat. The theater is a good place for people to make money. So we have to actually make sure that that the people in there are making also other young people can join and also make money. So I think the one thing that keeps me going is the fact that people should come into this industry and make money. And that's one of the reasons why chinzirayo nensoma okitegeera nze nkimanya I can get property, I can make a lot of money, but at the end of the day kiranga kuvuga motoka mpya. Omanyi bwoba wakafuna n'emmotoka nga mpya, you get excited and then you start driving it. You drive it from home, you park it at work. Then what? I think that's why people keep getting more and more and more, because at the end of the day, it has no meaning. At the end of the day, it has no meaning. You build houses, nozizimba zapangisa nekuzukuwa sente, and then what? Okitegeera. I believe setting realistic short-term goals, when you hit them, you feel motivated quickly. I think Ataho, I think I struggle with setting those short-term goals, but I realized what you're saying is true. When you set a short-term goal of like 4 months, you do it. Like in the next 1 month, I have a goal that I expect to actually achieve in the next 1 month. I have a goal that I want to achieve, and I want to make sure that it's achieved in 1 month. Because when I achieve that one goal in 1 month, it will be like achieving something that I failed to achieve for 2 years. So short-term goals is also very good, because when I think you can set a big goal and then break it down. Like I want to build an apartment, and then you break it down to, first of all, let me buy land. Second, let me transfer the title to my names. Third, let me go get a plan approved. Yeah. Then fourth, let me get building quotations. Then fifth, let me work on the foundation. Then sixth, katusimbe pillars. Okitegeera. Then katuywe slab ya waggulu. Okitegeera. I find that you can break it down like that. It's oli mutuufu nnyo ataho. Setting short-term goals. They are very, like an apartment block that will cost you like 500 to 600 million. Yeah, 500 to 600 million. No gamma, you know what? How much will the land be? The land will be like 60 million. So let me first buy the land, 60 million. Transferred. How much is transferring that land? 5 to 6 million noga okay nezo nazo zizo mu transferring ene da manyago. Then how much is it to build a plan? Nebakugamba plan plus approval will take you like 7 million. Knows why plan never approved. You see, every step you take, you're like, oh, this can be achieved. Yeah, I can actually do more. That makes sense. But guys, thank you for sharing what inspires you. Ata sharing them out because it will be share. What inspires you? It will inspire other people to also get inspirations. There are people that are not inspired by the way in life. I never want my kids to be there because I've not really been there. I think I've had things that inspired me. And sometimes when ekintu kikuinspire nga bakiba kinene nnyo n'emikwano gikendeerako kuba ogenda okulaba nga tebakutegeera okitegeera kati gwe Chris Fitness ataagala kubeera average olina emikwano emeka e Kampala bibogera tebigattagatta okitegeera. So what inspires you guys? Kanjire nga nsiibula ku bantu bange. Mugalasi Joshua Mixed Farm, Chigozi Stanley, Antonio Random Things, Paul Sema, Narunjoji Harriet, Kisa Mashadrak, Sechitoriko Brian, Morad K. Momo, Kawesa Victor, Kaiwa Benjamin, Chris Da Vinci, Nalunjoji, Tusime Eddie Lubega Francis, Mose Masadam, Umar Sebowa, Lubega Francis, Twaha Walakira, Tumubwine Anthony, Deno Wayne K, J Seka VIP, Antonio Random Things, Frank Waswa, Deep in Coffee, King Daniel Zaloyo, Joe and Jojo, Tony Calvin, Pasco Joseph, Ray, Bridget Kakai, Chris Fitness Rubulwa, Awakening Uganda, Jose Bali Kudembe, Charles Sevaduka, and Ataho Chivuma. Guys, thank you very much for being part of the podcast. Namawali Mukamori, I don't take you for granted. You can share this video with so many other people. These conversations ideally would be had in like when you guys link up and then they have. I realize when people link up, they never really have these conversations that we are having here. So you can share this video with a couple of friends that you think would benefit. I know but I'm sure people need to really be inspired. And these conversations with the learning. Yes, it's not an iPhone. It's not an Apple. It's a Dell. And now you can laugh. I want about to have a Apple na iPhone is okay. Apple na iPhone is okay. I have a Dell and a Samsung. If you die, you die. The Dell does my work. If you die, you die. Samsung also. The Samsung overheats a little, but it still does the work. But guys, mukama bawo mukisa mwebale kusharinga munete emirimu ya pre-purchase inspection okitegeera emirimu ya pre-purchase inspection igikola tracker weziri radio weziri and may God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow evening. Ciao ciao.